After the last movie I watched turned out to be a big stinker, I wanted something refreshing to start the new year. So why not try a musical? Recently I watched La La Land starring Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. Ever since I saw the trailer for La La Land in the theaters months ago, I was intrigued. It looked like a sweet and pleasant movie with good music and classic dancing. And you know me, I like schmaltz. Now that the movie had swept the Golden Globes, I was even more interested. I know that this is a departure from the kinds of movies I've reviewed before, but I really want to talk about this one and what makes it work. First off, the movie is a musical, and that can be a turnoff to some people. However, even though it is a musical, the movie isn't oversaturated with musical numbers to the point that they get in the way of the story or negatively affect the pacing. There is actually a sizable stretch during the middle of the movie without any song and dance numbers. When there is a musical number, it is great. The music in this movie is catchy and the dance choreography is excellent. The first scene of the movie is a flash mob-esque dance number in LA traffic. It just kinda happens, but it is one of the best songs in the movie. We have our story, which is about two aspiring young adults trying to make it in Hollywood, which arguably sounds pretty cliche, but it is held up by the film craft and relatable realistic characters. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling play an aspiring actress and a man dreaming of owning a jazz club respectively. While those two characters could come off as played out in a lesser movie, in this movie both the lead characters feel fresh because of the performances of the two lead actors. I have never been on the Ryan Gosling bandwagon. I did not care for The Notebook for a number of reasons. From my experience, having a Y chromosome makes that movie a pretty hard sell. In that movie, he is perfectly crafted to get every girl to swoon. In La La Land, Ryan Gosling is good at being Ryan Gosling. He is handsome and charming enough to be an appealing leading man. His character Sebastian isn't a perfect mate like his character in The Notebook. He actually comes off as a jerk in the beginning of the movie. His first interaction with Emma Stone's character is him flipping her off. He is curt, his word too, and acts pretentious when it comes to his love of jazz music. It is difficult to make a character that acts pretentious still be likable. That aspect of his character softens as the movie goes on, so I didn't get that "I hate you Ethan Hawke in Reality Bites" feel. The real standout is Emma Stone as Mia, and that's not a Y chromosome thing. Her performance is outstanding. She is very skilled at playing a charming, down-to-earth girl with little quirks. Emma Stone and her character Mia seem like people you would see in real life, which helps make the character more believable as a person and helps the audience relate to her. The characters are strong and their motivations are clear from the start. When I reviewed Assassin's Creed, I noted that the beginning of the movie wasted a lot of time with scenes that didn't tell us anything about the characters, who they were, or what was happening. In La La Land, right after the opening musical number, we're given insight into Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling's characters, and this is a great example of show, don't tell. While they are waiting in traffic, we are shown characteristics without an exchange of dialogue. Sebastian is repeatedly playing back and stopping music recordings. Right away, we see that music is important to him. Mia is going over lines for an audition in her car. No time is wasted in showing us who the characters are and what is happening in the story. Each scene has a purpose. The only thing that I think could have been cut out and not affected the movie much at all would be the stuff with the boyfriend Mia had in the beginning of the movie. He is a bland, yuppie humanoid that existed for throwaway conflict. After she walks out on a date with him, he isn't seen or heard from again. That's such a stale rom-com trope. The movie references movies from Hollywood's golden age and also celebrates old Hollywood. It has the elements of one of those classic musicals and mixes those with modern settings and characters. There is enough cynicism in the movie because of the setting, otherwise it would be a fairy tale. Overall though, the movie is optimistic. Most of the musical numbers are bright and delightful and even intentionally cheesy in certain bits. The best example is the sequence when Mia and Sebastian go to the Griffin Observatory's planetarium theater. Their dance number goes into a fantasy sequence with effects that are so wonderfully corny you would think it was from the 40s from the way it was shot to the way it was edited, but with obvious green screen. It is just so wonderful. That's another thing. The movie isn't afraid to be corny, and being corny isn't a bad thing if done right. Too often movies and shows and games try to hard-boil things so much because they think grays and browns are realistic and would resonate more. While that is certainly true some of the time, having a bit of color and sparkle really works to make a great and resonating experience for the audience. This movie strikes an incredible balance between the cynicism required for the setting and the nature of the story, but also keeps the tone light and optimistic while still being believable. And it has music that harkens back to old Hollywood. That is really commendable. Another big part of the story is the romance between Mia and Sebastian. This is where I'm going into spoilers. Skip to this time code. So if you are watching this review before seeing the movie, I highly recommend pausing now and then going out to buy a ticket to see La La Land, or streaming it depending on when you watch this video. So after a time skip towards the end of the movie, we learn that even after their fast and sexy romance throughout most of the film, Mia and Sebastian don't end up together. Mia became a successful actress, but married someone else, while Sebastian opened his jazz club and used the logo Mia had designed for him. A lot of people have bemoaned the ending and hoped that Mia and Sebastian got married, but I think it's fine that they didn't end up together. That's not because I'm a bitter old hag. Aside from the girl and guy ending up together being something that almost always happens in these kinds of movies, it is believable that their relationship didn't last. Both of them had career obstacles that required them to go their separate ways. Even though their respective happy endings did include each other, in the end they don't regret where they are in life. Mia does imagine what her life would have been like if they didn't break up when she sees him for the first time in 5 years, but both silently reassure themselves that everything is okay. It is natural to imagine a what if, but still be happy with how your life has gone. However, it would have been nice to have seen more of why it didn't work out instead of it being glossed over by a time skip. It certainly doesn't help that her new husband didn't exist in the movie prior to the time skip and has less personality than the yuppie humanoid she dumped earlier. Yeah, it was a bit of a cop-out. Still, the fact that they were major influences in each other's lives means their relationship had major value despite it not lasting. There is a line in a song early on in the movie that says, "Someone in the crowd could be the one you need to know." In the context of the song, it relates to being recognized by someone in the entertainment business. In the context of the movie, it relates to meeting someone who can change your life through a positive relationship. And that is ultimately what Mia and Sebastian are for each other. I highly recommend La La Land. It is a well-made, well-acted musical movie with a lot of heart and stellar music. I believe that anyone could find something to enjoy in this movie, whether it's the music, the characters, the film craft, or all of the above and more. You can see it with your mom or grandma and you would both have a good time. Thank you so much for watching, Happy New Year, and I'll see you all next time.